Hello everybody and welcome to Peppy Art. Today I want to talk about the things I made this year, the things I accomplished, what I worked on, what I have experienced and what I decided. Then I want specifically go into my art career, what I've accomplished there and how I proceeded so far. And then I will give you a short view about my plan for the future, or especially the next year. So, well, let's start in the end of the last year. Last year I mostly worked on call centers or call agencies to earn money and make a life out of that. Didn't really know where to go after I quitted my training as a joiner or becoming joiner. So I always wanted to become an artist. Didn't really believe I could achieve it, but made the decision to at least try it and just make it. So I asked my dad if I could stay by him or come home from the city Rostock where I lived in and go home to the village and prepare the portfolio for applying at the art school, and if he would support me. Well, he did. I turned to my home where I grew up, worked on my portfolio to apply for the art school. It took me about 1.5 to nearly 2 months. This really was the first time that I painted or drew nearly 8 hours a day, or 6 to 8 hours. I never have drawn or painted this much. I nearly spent 8 or 6 hours per day and painting and drawing and preparing my portfolio. It was really tough for me because I always, when I painted or drew something, I just made it when I wanted to. So maybe sometimes I had a break of maybe about a month between two pictures. So to really consistently draw and paint was quite a challenge for me. Well, I finished it at the end of March and sent it to the university. While waiting for the reply, I had to work for my father. I helped him with all the stuff and work he had to do for his home. Well, I tried to keep up the routine of consistently painting and drawing, but it got really hard since I had to help my dad this much, and I reduced the time. I read more books and reduced it a bit, but I tried to still stay consistent. Well, 1 or 2 months later I got the reply. I got declined at the university. Well, it was somehow a shock for me, but on the other hand I already expected that. Don't know why, but I felt like my style or how I'm drawing and painting already isn't made for applying to an art school. Anyways, I got declined and had to come up with a new idea. Since I didn't know where to go, I pretty much based on that. But also, since I already expected it a bit, I was prepared for it and tried to figure out pretty quick where to go. Well, since I'm into anatomy and psyche, I decided that I want to apply for studying psychology or human biology. At human biology, you can cut open humans and see how all the muscles, etc. function. So I was very curious about that. But well, since I hadn't such great grades when I finished the school, that would mean I had to wait about 1 to 2 years until I would be able to study there, which wasn't that bad for me, since I planned, okay, I want to become an artist anyways now, I'm just gonna do it on my own. And said, okay, I'm gonna do a part-time job, raise money there, work on my art career, and become a self-employed artist, and maybe will already be able to live from my art while studying biology or psychology. But my father really was against that, and he talked to me over and over again that I have to do something proper, that I have to work to finance my hobby. And well, his voice got in my mind pretty strong, since I saw him all day long, and he was pretty much the only one I say all day long. So he convinced me after a while to start studying engineering here in Weimar. Well, after I finished the work by my dad, I worked by a friend of ours. I had to work with metal and stuff for about 1 or 2 months. Was a great time too. I still could do this. Well, I earned some money, tried to save up some money, and when I ended working there, I got the opportunity to give a course in Rostock at the college, the public college we call it in English, I guess. So everybody can go there, take a course and learn something. Well, that was pretty great for me. It fired me up and got me motivated. I did this for a week with somebody else. We did it together and supported each other. I got even paid for it. This was the first time I did something like this. It was pretty awesome. Afterwards, I started working at a call center again to save up some money for the move I planned to do in the fall from Rostock to Weimar. I had to quit the job about 1 or 2 weeks later and started working at an ice cream shop. Here I saved up money, worked hard, worked on my art career in the meanwhile until September came, and then I turned from Rostock to Weimar. In Weimar I had about half a month left where I spent the time for me and prepared for study. When studies began, well, first there was pretty much party, meeting so many people. It was like my brain was stormed by all the names and informations you had to put in from about 100 people you met in just a week. So it was pretty crazy, but still funny. Then after the week partying, the studies began. Well, it didn't take me so long to quit a short while after. So I guess after 2 months or so. Because I realized it was so stressful, it was so fucking time consuming. It took me so much time to just be present in the lectures. Well, I mean, only on Monday I had to be there from 9 o'clock to 7 p.m. So yes, it was too much. And then I still had to learn after the lectures so much, and when I really had free time, which became more and more rare, then I kept working in my free time for my art career, and then I went to sleep, went to the lecture, studied afterwards, worked on my career, and this on and on and on for about 2 months, and I got more and more stressed. It was just like all the hobbies and things I love to do, I weren't able to do anymore. and I wanted to be relaxed and enjoy the art. And because of all these conditions, I was so stressed in doing art and building up the channels, the website, the accounts and all that stuff. I felt even there like I have to be quick to make money, to finance myself and become self-employed artist, and didn't enjoy the process as much as I should. I realized the only motivation for the study was the fucking money. My dad told me that he would support me if I study this. So in my mind I was like, okay, if I'm gonna stop studying engineering, he maybe won't support me financially anymore. And the second one was like, okay, if I finish the studies, I can make money to finance my hobby or to finance my art career and do marketing and stuff. And I always made it up for myself like this, so that I would be satisfied with spending time there. But it made me more and more unhappy. So one morning I wake up, sitting on my bed, meditating, thought like, okay, why am I doing this? I'm doing it for money, for money, for money. There was literally no other reason, despite the fact that I maybe did this to make my dad happy, but I thought, okay, don't give a fuck, I want happy. I care more about being happy myself than being him happy about doing my studies. So I said, okay, screw this, I stopped it. And in the meanwhile, I used the time and met the directors of the art schools from the public colleges at the Jena, Weimar, and Erfurt, and made it possible for me to give courses here. Starting in February next year, or March or some other, I will give three courses next year, coming year, and starting by fall next year, there will be added some courses from Erfurt, and maybe I can build them up, depending on how much people will come to visit my courses and learn from me, and so that I maybe will be able to give 2 to 3 courses per school. And this would already make it possible for me to make a life from my art. And while financing myself with giving these courses, I can build up everything around here, my website, the connections to people, the accounts, the community and everything. So let's see where this will go. I'm excited about it. Well, and now let's talk about what I think, how much I have improved in my art skills and career. Well, this year a lot happened. I worked on a pretty big project for me. There was my portfolio. There were very much colored images. In the last years I mainly focused always on black and white pencil drawings, so I really pushed my comfort zone. Also I worked on much bigger formats than before, but I'm planning on working on even bigger formats in future, maybe on a canvas that measures 1 meter in length and 2 meter in width. That would be something. I'm looking forward to it. Well, I pretty much invested all the money I made this year in my art career. I bought these softboxes, I invested in this camera, I invested in another camera for recording speed paintings, I invested in materials to paint, and brushes, and in canvases, and all that stuff. I let a lot of money there. I learned how to edit videos. I learned how to work with Photoshop, how to use that tool. I learned about my graphic tablet, with which I wasn't that familiar before. Oh yes, I I built up my social media accounts, I built up my homepage, my website. I opened a little shop on different platforms where you can buy art prints and printed products, which was really the first step for me trying to step into this industry. Well, so I got my own studio or workplace where I can live on my own and do my stuff and plan for myself without getting in conflicts with some other persons or something like that. So I really made big progress in that area this year, I think, and I'm quite happy with that. Well, but I'm still not satisfied. I really tested out my strengths and weaknesses in the art, what I'm capable of doing and what not, what I can draw or paint and what not, and I really realized that I'm lacking the foundations for my paintings and drawings. Thought I got a big assortment of all stuff that I know. I really need to focus more on anatomy, on perspective, and on composition, on lighting and shading. So what I'm gonna focus on for the next year. I want to make more tutorial videos, since I haven't done any until now. So I want to make the first about the things I know the best, or some techniques, how to shade, how to texture stuff. So basically normally you have to figure out the basics of forms, shapes and anatomy first, and then it is coming to texture and style, how you can shade something, and well, how you use the pen, so to speak, how your handwriting is for the painting or the drawing. And I guess I will begin with that, because that's what I have done the most in my past. And when I got quite better in the other fundamentals or basics, I will introduce them to you. So that's the plan so far. And well, let's see where this will go, right? So that's it. I just want to give a short summary on the end. So this year I mainly focused on painting, working on portfolio, on my homepage, on the accounts, on my website, and building up all that stuff. Therefore I let slip the drawing and techniques. I found out my limits, what I'm capable of doing. And therefore next year I'm gonna focus on the fundamentals like anatomy and shading and shaping, and I'm gonna do much more tutorials on that, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So I hope you stay tuned and that you will like the stuff that's coming. Let me know if there's anything I can do, just as always. If you're interested or got some ideas what I should start with in the tutorials or like that, just tell me, feel free to contact me, and I will answer as fast as possible. So, here, see you next time. Bye!